Hello, Math 143 class. This is Mr. Blevins with your notes, or some homework examples from section 2A. So these were some questions that some students sent me the links, the Ask My Instructor links. Feel free to send those to me, and I can make some videos for other sections as well. Alright, so this first section, a lot of words, but what it's basically wanting you to do is take this number right here, this 0.45 kilograms, and convert it to pounds. So it wants to know how many pounds did this deer weigh. So what we're basically doing is we're starting with one measurement and we're converting it to another. So I'm going to start with this 0.45 kilograms, and this is what we're given to convert it. 1 kilogram is approximately equal to 2.2 pounds. And what we do with that, 1 kilogram equals 2.2 pounds, what we end up doing is we divide both sides by 1 kilogram. Write pounds over here. And when you divide anything by itself, you just get 1. So 1 is equal to this conversion. Well, what happens when you multiply by 1? You end up with the same thing. You end up with 0.45 kilograms. But what this allows us to do is, instead of multiplying just by 1, we multiply by a different version of 1. This is also equal to 1. And here, when we multiply by 2.2 pounds over 1 kilogram, because this is equal to 1, we still get the same measurement back. It just looks different. And what happens here is the kilograms cancel. Okay, they're always going to cancel if you offset the units like that. And we end up with 0.4. Alright, and then here's the question from your homework about how many pounds did it weigh. It's a multiple choice. 1 pound's the closest, so I pick 1 pound. Alright, here's another one. This was number 8 in the homework set for this. I think this would be everybody's number 8. I don't think these are random. The quiz questions are random, but I think the homework questions are all in the same order. But anyway, this says an air conditioning system can circulate 440 cubic feet of air per minute. How many cubic yards is that? Well, what this comes from, the reason why you do this the way you do it, is we all know that if this is 1 yard, it's also 3 feet. Alright, 3 feet is a yard. Now, this says cubic feet. Okay, a cubic foot means a foot in length, a foot in height, and a foot in depth. So if you can imagine going in all directions, that's a cubic foot. Alright, so we have 440 of those cubic feet. Well, how many cubic yards of air can it circulate? So let's think about what a cubic yard would look like. A cubic yard would be one of these things here: length, width, and height. Alright, so there I've just taken this and I've made it the length, the width, and the height. And now I'm going to go back in and dash all these square, these feet markers. Alright, now if you see, there's a foot, and then this is a foot, this is a foot, this is a foot. So I've just taken the fact that 3 feet is a yard and I've applied it to this was a yard, this was a yard, this was a yard. So each one of these sections are yards. Now, remember there's a cubic foot. Now there's going to be one there, one there, one there. There's going to be another row stacked on top of that, and another row stacked on top of that, and then it's going to go back 3. So the question is, how many of these cubic feet are in one of these big cubic yards? And the answer is, well, there's going to be 3 this way, there's going to be 3 this way, and there's going to be 3 this way. So that's going to be 3 times 3 times 3, which equals 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. Cubic feet is 1 cubic yard. Now the easy way to do that, rather than having to go through all this, is 3 feet equals 1 yard. And then because we're talking about cubic feet and cubic yards, we're just going to cube both sides. we're going to cube this, we're going to cube this. Alright, and then 1 yard cubed, 1 cubed is 1. Yard cubed is cubic yards, so we end up with 1 cubic yard. And then here, 3 cubed 20, is 27, and then feet cubed is cubic feet. So we end up with 27 cubic feet is 1 yard. Now, same idea. We're converting from 440 cubic feet. We're going to multiply by that fraction like we did before, and we're going to end up with cubic yards. So to get it to cancel, if this is cubic feet here, we want cubic feet to be down here, and we want cubic yards to be up here. That way the cubic feet cancel. Okay, so 1 cubic yard, so I'll put the 1 beside the cubic yard, is 27 cubic feet, so I put the 27 down here. And now I end up dividing. 440 divided by 27 is my answer. It's just typically we would round that. So 440 divided by 27 is 16.296, about 16.3 cubic yards. That should be about approximately. Alright, and then we see for that question 16.3 rounded to 1 decimal place. Alright, this is question number 14. It wants us to take a 9/10 of a liter bottle that costs 120 pesos. And we want to know what's the price in dollars per ounce. Alright, so we want money on top. We want capacity on the bottom. So right here, we need to put the pesos on top. So 120 pesos for 9/10 of a liter is what we're starting off with. To get that to be converted to dollars per ounce, notice all the conversions from ounces involve milliliters down here. So we're going to need to first convert this liters to milliliters. Okay, there's 1,000 milliliters in a liter. Okay, we need liters on the top and milliliters on the bottom. So the liters will be offset. So 1 liter is 1,000 milliliters, right? So because we need the liters on the top and the milliliters on the bottom, that means we need this one. Alright, and then once we know how many milliliters we're talking, now it's time to convert from milliliters to ounces. So we need milliliters on the top, ounces on the bottom, okay, and then we'll have our ounces in our unit. So the milliliters needs to be on top, ounces on the bottom. Milliliters on top, ounces on the bottom is this one, right? And that's 1 milliliter is 0.03381 ounces. And finally, we got ounces, so we're good there. We don't have to do any more capacity unit conversions. We need to do money. Now we need dollars. We got pesos. We need pesos on the bottom, and we need dollars on the top. Okay, so the one with pesos on the bottom and dollars on the top is this one. Alright, 1 peso is $0.06584. Okay, and now we're ready to convert. Okay, we're just going to go to our calculator and multiply all this together. Alright, now the way that you do this, there's multiple ways to do it. You can multiply each fraction one at a time, but the other way that you can do it is literally multiply all the top together, multiply all the bottom together, and then divide. And you can do it all at once in your calculator. So 120 is what we're starting off with. The ones, anytime there's a 1 present, you don't have to multiply by that. Alright, so 120 times, this is the only other thing that's not a 1, so 0.06584. Alright, that's the numerators, and then there's the fraction bar, divide by. And then the denominators that aren't ones is 0.9 times 1,000 times 0.03381. Alright, and then enter. So 0.2596, so roughly $0.26 per ounce. We bring it to the nearest cent. We don't need the dollar symbol. It says dollars right there. So $0.26 per ounce. Alright, again, bringing in the problem. There's the $0.26 per ounce. Alright, this is problem number 15 from the homework. So what this says is a 10 to 20 kilogram kid should have 1,000 milliliters of fluid plus 50 milliliters for each kilogram over 10. So for instance, an 11 kilogram kid should have 1,000 plus one of these 50s because they're 1 kilogram over 10. If they're 12, they need to have 1,000 plus 2 of these, or 100 milliliters, which would make it 1,100. Okay, so basically like we're multiplying by how many kilograms over that they are. So how many 8-ounce glasses should a 23 pound kid? Well, first thing we need to do is convert 23 pounds to kilograms to know. So 23 pounds is what we're starting with. And we're going to multiply that by the fact that 2.2 pounds is a kilogram. So 2.2 pounds is 1 kilogram. Alright, now because this is offset, the pounds cancel, and we end up dividing. 23 is on the top, 2.2 is on the bottom. That means divide. So 23 divided by 2.2 is about 10.45 kilograms. Alright, now notice that this says 1,000 milliliters of fluid plus 50 for each full kilogram of body weight over 10. So this one doesn't weigh a full kilogram of weight over 10 pounds. It weighs like a fraction of one over 10 pounds. So we don't have to add the 50 milliliters. Alright, so we need 1,000 milliliters, and we need to convert that to ounces because we have to come up with 8-ounce glasses. So our goal here is to go from milliliters to ounces, okay, which is what we just did in the last problem. So milliliters on the bottom, ounces on the top. That's this one, so 0.03381 on the top. There's 1 milliliter. The milliliters cancel, and I have 1,000 times 0.03381. So 33.81 ounces. Okay, now they're drinking 8-ounce glasses, so we're going to take that 33.81 and we're going to divide by 8 ounces per glass, and that's going to tell me how many glasses. Right? The units here that cancel, we'll end up with glasses as our unit. So 33.81 divided by 8 is 4.22. Alright, glasses. So that would, they're going to tell you to round it to the nearest whole, so that would be about 4 glasses. 4 8-ounce glasses, okay, and that's what it says here. Okay, the child should drink about 4 8-ounce glasses. Alright, so there's some basic conversion problems, some examples in this section. Alright, back to the very first problem. There is this website, you may have heard of it before, it's called Google. And Google is great for conversions. So we had to convert, for the problem one, we had to convert 0.45 kilograms to pounds. So in Google, in the search box, I can write 0.45 0.45 kilograms, and you see one of them is to pounds. 2 pounds. Hit enter. 0.45 kilograms equals 0.99208 pounds. Alright, and there's that conversion. There's what we got. 0.99 pounds, 0.99208. Okay, so it can handle that conversion. Okay, here we need to convert 440 cubic feet to cubic yards. Alright, Google can handle that as well. So that would be volume. Let's see, cubic foot is what we're starting with. 440 to cubic yards is on here, but I can put it up here. 440 cubic feet to cubic yards. Alright, 16.29 what we got. 16.3. Okay, so same thing that we got before. So Google can handle a lot of these conversions if it's just a simple one-to-one conversion. Now these, like where multiple conversions are going on, Google can do some of those. It's just it may not have the numbers that you have here because these types of numbers fluctuate daily. But if it's something like a step along the way, like pounds to kilograms, milliliters to ounces, Google can handle that. Okay, so just know that that's available to you, and you are allowed. It's perfectly fine to use that with your homework and quizzes.